The future's loading, watch it all begin.
Good day, Ron Brown from Tech for Senior. Chrome OS 150. Chrome OS 150 I just got this morning and downloaded and installed it. It'll be a staged release, so not everyone will be getting it at the same time. It should automatically install on your Chromebook. If you're anxious, you can certainly do a manual install. Big changes coming as we transition to Googlebooks. I've made a short video I'd like you to watch outlining some of the changes of Chrome OS 150. It is particularly important if you're using Chrome Flex, as there are some big changes that are going to occur. Let's have a look at the video and see all the changes that are going to be affecting everyone.
ChromeOS 150 is officially rolling out. And look, this isn't just your standard software update with a couple of bug fixes. No, this release is sending serious ripple effects across the entire hardware ecosystem. We're going to dive right into this because what we're witnessing right now is a fundamental change in how Google actually views its operating system. And more importantly, we're going to look at exactly how this affects you, the individual Chromebook user, going forward. I want to kick things off by asking a question you might literally be asking yourself very soon. Are you missing out on Chrome OS? Because, right now, the platform is splitting. We're looking at a hard fork in the road where standard users might start feeling left behind while the premium hardware gets all the shiny new toys. But, before we get into all the heavy-hitting ecosystem drama, let's just take a quick look at what everyone actually gets today. Section 1. What ChromeOS 150 brings. The universal upgrades. So regardless of what hardware you're running, if you download version 150 today, there are some immediate upgrades that cut right through the usual enterprise jargon. First up, we've got local PIN sign-ins. For managed users, your admins can now let you set up a local PIN or password. Basically, this means you get a much smoother kind of passwordless style experience for your day-to-day logins, rather than having your standard online passwords scraped every single time. It's a huge quality of life thing. Next, for accessibility, there's an inverted color option for the mouse cursor. This is a brilliant everyday upgrade. If you use a large cursor size, the OS will now actually invert the colors of whatever content is underneath the pointer, meaning you never lose visibility of the text or images you're hovering over. And finally, for the power users out there, ChromeOS 150 lets you manually install isolated web apps, or IWAs, right from the get-go, assuming your admin has enabled the policy. It gives developers total control over the visual layout, even letting them use an unframed display mode that completely hides those standard system window controls. Ever been deep in the zone working on your Chromebook and suddenly, bam, you're hit with a random lock screen asking you to sign back in? It is the absolute worst. Well, version 150 optimizes the background security checks tied to your account. The crucial takeaway here is that this saves you from the total headache of those unexpected mid-workflow logging prompts. It just makes the whole system feel significantly more reliable. Section 2. Hardware and gaming left behind. The graveyard. As Google pushes Chrome OS into the future, progress comes at a cost. Let's look at the timeline of what's getting cut loose. First, we've got the final nail in the coffin for Chrome apps. By July 2025, user-installed Chrome apps will stop working entirely. Done. Then, right around the corner in Chrome OS 151, we're seeing a block on updates for older hardware running ChromeOS Flex. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of that in just a second. But perhaps the most talked about casualty is the death of the Steam for Chromebook beta. That's slated to be killed off entirely in 2026. Installed games just won't be available to play anymore. Now, to be fair to Google here, this version of Steam only ever supported 99 specific games, and it required at least an Intel Core i3 or an AMD Ryzen 3 processor anyway. So it was niche, but man, it still really stings for anyone who bought into the dream of native Chromebook gaming. For the hardware tinkers out there running ChromeOS Flex to revive old laptops, definitely take note. Starting in version 151, Google is blocking updates for devices that can't meet the minimum requirements for the Chrome browser. Specifically, if your machine is rocking Intel or AMD graphics from 2010 or older, or NVIDIA graphics from 2014 or older, your update train is officially stopping. That is the end of the line.
And that brings us to the community reaction. I found this quote from user Ez036 on the Tom's Hardware forums, and they hit the nail on the head. I have this nagging voice telling me that Google is quietly giving up. Chrome OS isn't long for this world anymore. I think it's absolutely crucial we highlight this because it perfectly validates the frustration and, honestly, the nostalgia gamers and old hardware users might be feeling right now. When you see features getting killed off and legacy hardware dropped, it's so easy to feel like the platform is shrinking. But as we're about to see, Google isn't giving up on ChromeOS. They're just radically shifting their focus.
Section 3. The Chromebook Plus Divide. The haves and the have-nots.
This right here is the absolute core conflict of the update. Google is intentionally splitting this ecosystem into two distinct tiers. On one side, we have standard Chromebooks, the accessible, budget-friendly machines that literally built the platform's reputation. On the other side, we have Chromebook Plus, and moving forward, the basic experience of standard devices is going to stand in stark contrast against the exclusive, heavy-hitting features being pushed entirely to the Plus tier. The difference for the individual user is becoming massive.
So what exactly are standard users missing out on? Well, first, Gemini is integrated directly into the Chrome browser, but only on Plus devices. You can interact with it via text chat to summarize pages, or even use Gemini Live for voice interactions, all without ever leaving your tab. Second, generative AI wallpapers. Plus users get an unrestricted text prompt to generate high-res backgrounds, or they can just use the Inspire Me button to have the OS whip up something totally unique. And third, the Help Me Read tool. If you encounter dense jargon or convoluted text, Plus users can simply right-click it and the AI will simplify the text so you can digest it at a glance. If you're on a standard Chromebook, you don't get these tools. Simple as that. The OS experience is now fundamentally different depending entirely on the badge slapped on the lid of your laptop.
Section 4. Enter Aluminum OS, the premium horizon.
Now, if you thought the Plus divide was disruptive, just look at what was announced at Google I/O. Aluminum OS. That's a development code name, by the way. The actual name will drop later this year. But here is exactly what it is. It's the new operating system that will literally replace the consumer version of ChromeOS on premium third-party devices. Yep, it's going to power a brand new line of high-end laptops called Googlebooks, and those are expected to be priced in the $1,000 plus range. It's a whole new ballgame.
Now, before anyone managing a school district or a massive corporate fleet hits the panic button, take a deep breath. The sources make it very, very clear. Enterprise, education, and Flex users will keep Classic Chrome OS. Google fully intends to continue supporting the Classic OS for managed fleets. This Aluminum OS shift is entirely targeted at the consumer space, really aiming to compete at the absolute premium end of the market.
But for the individual consumer, this software fork is honestly a bit paralyzing. Just look at this real-world buying dilemma from Reddit user Suhas1639. I'm confused about the Lenovo Chromebook 14 Plus for $649. Or should I wait for the upcoming Googlebook? I'm guessing the Googlebook will be priced around $1,000 plus. This brilliantly illustrates the current state of the ChromeOS market. If you need a laptop today, do you buy a standard Chromebook and just completely miss out on AI? Do you buy a Chromebook Plus for $650, knowing a brand new operating system called Aluminum is literally just over the horizon? It is an incredibly tough spot for buyers right now.
Which forces us to ask a really thought-provoking question. Is the budget Chromebook era ending? For years, the whole appeal of ChromeOS was that you could drop $200 and get a fast, super secure web-first machine. But with Google heavily focusing their marketing on $650 plus models and dedicating an entirely new OS to $1,000 Googlebooks, they are putting a lot of distance between themselves and those cheap, accessible routes.
And that leaves us here, with ChromeOS 150 drawing a really clear line in the sand regarding legacy hardware and dropping those AI features exclusively to the Plus tier. You really have to weigh your own hardware needs against this rapidly changing ecosystem. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Is it time for you to upgrade to a Chromebook Plus today, or are you going to hold out and wait for Aluminum?